Hi, Aries Sun and Rising. Welcome to your June 2025 Astral Update. It's Rena here. So I want to apologize for not having your reading updated. I think I was doing tarot readings at the same time, and I may have just overlooked it, but somebody brought it to my attention, so I want to thank that person. So June is significant because we're going to see Jupiter changed signs into Cancer. And this is a fellow cardinal sign. And so it affects you in one of the angular houses. And I will get into that. But I wanted to mention something about late May, which is actually happening after I record this because I'm recording this on the 22nd of May. And on the 24th, we have Saturn going into Aries. This is significant because this has not happened in 30 years, and also because it's your sign. Whether it's your sun sign or your rising sign, you're going to have Saturn in your sign. So going into June, just understand that that is a significant development. And let me just briefly say what I think that's going to mean for you, but I have a separate video that talks about Saturn and Neptune going into Aries. Actually, Neptune has already gone into your sign and what that means for you. And that's on my channel. I posted that probably a couple of months ago. In terms of Saturn specifically, Aries people tend to be very spontaneous and very, I would say, exuberant. And Saturn can mute that, okay? If it's your ascendant, this could show up in how you carry yourself and how other people see you. They might see you as more serious than you normally would be. For your sun sign, this could be very good actually for your goals. You might be less, I was going to use the word scattered, and that's probably not the best word, but Aries people tend to be very ambitious, but you also tend to be the kind of people that can peter out when the thing that you're pursuing, the goal that you're pursuing, stops feeling novel, stops feeling new. And, you just have to kind of persevere. If you're Sun in Aries and you have Mars in Taurus, for instance, you're going to be able to persevere more easily because you'll just have that dogged determination to see something through. But in general, Aries is a good starter, but sometimes finishing is where you get tripped up. So I think this will give more discipline in that regard and just in general, and more, like maybe more focus on one thing versus trying to do everything at once, because Saturn tends to pare things down. And Aries, you may have a lot of balls in the air. Forget. I'm just going to leave that alone. So anyway, I'm just going to go in order here of the transits chronologically. On the 6th of the month, Venus goes into Taurus, which is your second house. And basically, that's cha-ching because Venus rules Taurus and Taurus rules the second house. So Venus specializes in matters of the second house. And that means that it's all about money and magnetizing yourself to it. Having it come to you, having more ability to attract it in the next few weeks. And Venus is kind of late to the party in Taurus. I mean, look, we're already in the month of June because Venus went retrograde, so it kind of got delayed a little bit. Venus, like Mercury, is a very quickly moving inner planet. And so it's kind of like giving you this little, I guess I would call it, gift a little bit late in the game, but better late than never. So hopefully you can see a boost to your income in the next few weeks. And on the 8th, Mercury goes into Cancer. So, and on the 9th, that's when Jupiter goes. So Mercury goes a day earlier. So Cancer for Aries is the fourth house of home and family. And this means that there may be something with real estate that is very focused right off the bat here, because Mercury can be even like paperwork, documents, you know, it may be the real deal. Somebody maybe you have gotten a house, even like given to you by someone. I guess it would probably most likely be in the family. And the fourth house can be the mother in particular, but some people say the father, so I would just say either parent. You might be speaking to that person more than normal starting on the 8th. And this is a general forecast, by the way. What the cusps of each of these houses, what degree they are for each of you, is going to differ. So you're going to have to know your placements, your chart placements, to be able to be more precise. But this gives a good, idea, like general outline. And when Jupiter goes into this fourth house, you have a year to really have the possibility of attracting a bigger house, a house that is more positive. Jupiter can be very cheerful and, like positive in its in what it represents. So if you've been kind of in some living situation that is more on the negative side, this could brighten your spirit, but it could be like a larger living space, or if you're downsizing, whether you're retiring or you just want to conserve your resources, this could give you more freedom somehow. So maybe you're moving someplace where you're going to have more ability to travel, because Jupiter can be long distance travel. And I would even say for some people that it could be, I don't know, I've never heard anybody interpret it like this, but maybe even um, a home in a foreign country. So maybe you would be moving to get this home. But that the Mercury being there could be some kind of negotiation, discussion with a real estate agent, or something along those lines. On the 11th, we have a full moon at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, and that's in the ninth house, and that trines you. So that's a very positive angle, cooperative angle, and that could have some kind of long distance. Jupiter is a ruler of Sag. That could have some travel vibes to it. Maybe everything is gelling finally, and you're going to be taking a trip, or you're ending a trip. Full moons can be endings, but it could be, the culmination to achieving that goal. You could be graduating from college. Ninth house can be higher learning. On the 17th, Mars goes into Virgo. And this is interesting because Virgo for you is the sixth house, And the sixth house deals with work and health. In terms of health, you could be doing some sort of particular exercise. Maybe you've hired a personal trainer and you're working. When I think of Mars, I think of physicality. Mars is a ruler of Aries, also co-rules Scorpio. And I see this more as an Aries kind of a vibe of like working out, being very athletic. So it's just like Mars can be, to me, movement as a whole or activity. And in the sixth house, it could be like physical activity for your health's sake. That you may be engaging in movement for that. Honestly, Aries people don't need, Mars is your ruler, so you don't need permission to be active because you tend to be. Since Mars is your ruler, but also since you're a cardinal sign, you just tend to take charge of situations and just like to do things. And so in the sixth house, there could be some kind of physical movement that is connected with a desire to pursue health. Um, it's the workplace too. So there could be like some kind of conflict. Mars can be conflict in the workplace. That's a possibility. Or you could be working overtime. You're just like exerting a lot of energy in your work. On the 20th, the sun goes into Cancer, so the sun is in that fourth house, and that just adds more emphasis on that house. On the 25th, we have a new moon there at 4 degrees of Cancer. So for sure, it's interesting, the degree is 4 degrees, so that's the builder number, and that's actually a number connected to Saturn. And here we go, the fourth house, number 4. It's no surprise that it's connected to home and family because that's the foundation that we look at in terms of launching everything we're doing in life as we start with that foundation. So I really feel like there's a good chance for Aries people to have something go down that is connected to real estate matters. And this could be like with one of your parents, especially the mother. I feel like there could be some new developments with her. The next day on the 26th, Mercury goes into Leo. So Mercury has gone from that house of, not finances, real estate and, family of origin to the house of love and creativity, the house that Leo rules in astrology, and it's much friendlier for you. The fourth house squares you. And it also, it's a water house, so they say water puts out fire. Fire is very enthusiastic. Water is connected to emotion, and it can put out fire, like water signs can put out your fire, extinguish your fire. And it's funny because on the flip side, fire can create steam with water. And so that's kind of like anger, steam. So I think that's pretty funny and clever. And I'm saying clever because I didn't make it up, but I read it somewhere and I thought that was really great. Because, and if you're, especially if I would say you're a sun in Aries and you have friends who are water, or people, maybe of relatives or just people in your life who are water signs, that that can kind of dampen you because they tend to be more cautious and they're going to look at you as being maybe foolhardy sometimes because you do take risks and you're just a force of nature, basically, Aries. So I think you're going to find that these planets are more comfortable in the fifth house. Mercury in the fifth, I just want to say one more thing about Mercury in the fourth house is it can have you be thinking about the past. And when it's in the fifth house, you could be, if you are a writer, this could be a great time for inspiration, creative inspiration. You might be writing more at this time. This could have you talking to somebody that you are crushing on, that you are interested in. You might just be feeling a sense of, romance in the air, and you really want to connect with somebody. But this could even be enjoying mental pursuits because the fifth house is also the house of pleasure. So anything that is like literary, like a play or something, or maybe a poetry reading. So yeah, that's June in a nutshell. Aries, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading by me, I do natal chart interpretations. I do transit readings, but unlike this, it's really looking at your exact chart and also taking it out for a year. And I have a special promotion called my deep dive reading, which is an hour of natal chart interpretation and an hour of transits for a special price. I have a couple of other chart deals, including one that has those two readings, plus a full-length tarot reading called the Whole Enchilada. I have career readings, love readings. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Bye.